Miss Mayor, we're live.
We'll wait for them.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. It is 5:08, and we are starting our special city council meeting. City Clerk. May I have roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Avila, Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Here.
Councilmember Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Estrada,
Here.
Councilmember Lozano.
He's on his way.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you. Is there anyone here for public communication?
We didn't receive any cards.
Thank you. Since there's no one here, we will close public communication. And we will now go on to open session, study session, presentation by Daniel Padilla, Director of Public Works, presents an update on the capital improvement projects in the construction phase. All yours, Daniel.
Thank you, Mayor. David, could you bring up the presentation, please? Yeah, so good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm happy to present tonight on our CIP projects that are in construction. Next slide, please. So these are just a few pictures from our San Gabriel River Greenway project. Here you're kind of looking to the west. Those are seat walls, and in the background there you can see the stairs. Next slide. The stairs were poured yesterday. So starting to take shape there at the grand entrance. Next slide. On this picture, you can see the stairs again. You're looking to the east and you see a couple of the street lights. Next slide. So Griffith Company started, actually mobilized and began their construction on June 16th. This was after a couple months of delay due to concerns with the plans and specifications and negotiating a few change orders. And I think part of that stemmed from that the project was advertised and bid prior to having obtained the permits from LA County and the Army Corps of Engineers. And the scope of work for the project included, we're doing engineering redesign, the stairs, irrigation systems, plantings, drinking fountain, solar lighting, security cameras, grading and importing fill material, the stairs and the bike path connecting from the existing path up to the Walnut Creek Nature Park, and then fencing and a decorative gate. Next slide. So the original amount of the contract was about 1.9 million. The city approved change order in April for project escalation of 130,000. And then in June, we approved a change order on a force account or time and materials for the extra work with the importing of the material and the concrete path. So the original contract provided for 90 working days. And as of a few days ago, we had about 25 working days remaining. So working days are set to be up on or around October 21st. But we anticipate providing them another week or week and a half, and with the target completion date of October 31st. That's when we're expecting to be done with this project. So some of the work they've completed is, grading and site preparation, the irrigation systems, the main line, and the controllers are complete. Besides the drip line and the emitters, they'll wait till after they plant to install that. The grading is pretty much done. They've graded the path up to the park. The stairs were poured on Monday, a few days ago, September 15th. Next slide. So the remaining work on the project includes the concrete path, which they're set to pour, I believe, Monday of next week. We'll have hand railing to do at the stairs and the path. And then we have the drainage design features, sloping from the top down to the seat walls, the treatment behind the seat walls, valley gutters, trench drains, and drainage pipe in that area of the stairs. And like I mentioned, the plantings, drip lines and emitters, and then the decorative gate and the fencing. That's what's left on that project. Next slide. Again, the original contract was about 1.9 million. We've executed some change orders. And that force account or time and materials change order is for rough grading and removing garbage, which they've done, the concrete path, importing material, and then minor miscellaneous items. Next slide. So I guess before I mean, I don't know how we should do this. Should I stop and get questions on this project, or should I go through and talk about all three projects? And how would you guys prefer?
Mayor, and let the record reflect, Councilmember Lozano is present.
Can we go back one slide? So we'll just stop right here. All right. Thank you.
Okay, any questions on the Greenway project?
I just have one quick question. Daniel, on the 1.93 original contract and with a change order of 130, was the 130 still within the scope of 1.93, or was that additional to the 1.93?
That was in addition.
An addition
was
to that?
Additional. Yeah, the 1.93 was the original contract. The 130,000 that is within the contingency,
Got it. Okay.
but it exceeds the 1.93.
But we're still within the contingency that you guys had, or that was set aside to begin with.
Correct.
Okay. And then my last question to you, Daniel, is I know you said that construction completion is set for October 31st. When do you anticipate the, I guess, either grand opening or for people to be able to start using it?
Yeah, I think we've talked with our CEO, and I think we're thinking early November, but I think it has not yet been confirmed. But some early November. We don't have an exact date yet.
So we're almost there.
Yes.
Perfect. That's all the questions that I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have a comment in regards to this project. I'd like to thank our Director of Public Works. He inherited this project and it wasn't quite up to speed. He had to put in a considerable amount of work, and there's something called a force account. He has in parentheses T&M, that's time and materials. That is an acronym that I'm not familiar with, but that's something he initiated with a contractor versus them charging us a specific amount. We are being billed for the time that they put into the project and the cost of the materials. So I'd like to thank our Public Works Director and his team for coordinating this project up to this point. Thank you.
Daniel, I do have a question. I saw the stairs and I also see here that you are doing a concrete path. Is it just stairs coming from the bike path to the park, or is it like a walkway also, like a slope?
Yes. David, can you please back up a few slides
Yes,
to the pictures? One more. Yes,
There it
perfect,
is.
right there. So
Okay.
there you can see the concrete path will go up that embankment up to where the top of the stairs are,
Okay, I see.
connecting to the asphalt down below.
Okay,
If I could interject, there's that path on both sides
so it goes
of
across.
the stairs, and then the middle portion are the stairs.
Okay.
So we are addressing both sides of the trail and the middle portion.
Okay, I didn't understand how it was laid out. I thought, are they carrying the bikes up the stairs? So no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. Anyone else? Okay, Daniel, we can go on to the next project.
Yeah, so this is Pacific and Bogart, traffic signal and rail safety improvements. So as you can see, the poles and the mast arms are in. Most of the concrete work is completed. The asphalt is in. Next slide. You know, this will be a new crossing with the curb ramp there. Though this one's missing the handrail, so there will be handrail here, hand railing, and all pedestrians coming from the north to the south will be forced to cross the street here. They won't be able to continue towards the railroad tracks from this point. Next slide. So this project, the goal of this project is to work towards a quiet zone and make it safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. You know, in the future, we will complete projects, rail safety projects at Merced Avenue, and I think I spelled McDevitt wrong there, but once we complete those projects, then we will have established a quiet zone. So the scope of the work of this project includes raised concrete medians, pavement overlay, which both have been completed, railroad crossing gates, and establishing a new preemptive timing, which basically, you know, when a train's coming, it will override the traffic signal control and, you know, obviously prevent pedestrians and vehicles from going across, and that will control the signal timing. So in summary, it's making that existing at-grade crossing modernized to current metro standards. And the design, I mean, even on the last project that I talked about, we did have to get Army Corps of Engineer permit from the county, which is complicated, but I think this one's still a little bit more complicated because we have to coordinate with the county, with Metro, with CPUC, and then it also involves federal funding. So that, you know, this project's been in the works for a long time. So, you know, the previous Public Works team, you know, kudos to them for getting it to this point. The construction plans were started in 2019. Council awarded this contract on March 20th of 2024. Next slide, please. The original contract amount for this project was 1.8 million awarded to Belco Elecnor. There have been limited change orders, knock on wood, on this project. I think it's only been about $7,800 in change orders for 2 pedestrian swing gates. The contract originally was for 90 working days. But I think the working days were paused due to long lead items. There was a lot of time needed to procure all the equipment for the signal. So, you know, this project has been delayed from the time it was issued or awarded as well. And I don't know every detail on why those delays, but I'm assuming it had to do with procurement and long lead items. But we are getting very close to the finish line on this project as well. Next slide, please. So the remaining scope on this project includes the controller and cabinet. We just received it. We're coordinating with the county to test it and then install it, coordinating with the county and Metro. We have striping to do. We've tried to accelerate the striping, but it's been a challenge to get our striping subcontractor out here to stripe the paving. Also, we're working on handrails, signage, pedestrian barricades, and fencing. And then we'll have to do the loops or the vehicle detection for the traffic signals. And our target date for turning on the signal and completing the project is mid to late October. Next slide. So, actually, let's go back one slide and pause right here for any questions on this project.
Mayor. Thank you. Daniel, I have a question. You mentioned something about pedestrian crossing and it's gonna force us to use a particular side?
Yes, so.
Are you talking about closer to the museum or across the street?
So pedestrians will cross the railroad on the east side,
Okay,
on the east side where the transit, on the transit station side.
okay,
So on the west side, at the intersection of Downing, if if you're walking or coming from the north, you will force pedestrians at that point to cross to the east and then come up on the east side to the north
okay,
along the transit station, frontage there.
okay,
So that will be where we force everyone, across the street to the east. But if
okay,
you're coming from the north to the south, it'll be at that curb ramp, right in front of the, retirement, community or,
Mhm. The
project
Kalaku,
there.
yeah. Okay, awesome, thank you.
Madam Mayor? Yes, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for the presentation. How soon thereafter will we be able to prevent the actual Metrolink from having to sound the horn?
Yeah, like I touched on, we still have 2 projects to do before we can get that done. That would be, constructing improvements at Merced and at McDevitt. So
Oh,
so it's gonna be probably several years.
wow.
Excuse me. Is your mic on?
Oh, yes, let me get closer. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you very much. No, so is that going to be based on the funding? Is that the reason why?
Well, to be honest, I haven't dove too deep into those projects. I know we have Measure M funding, and I think it's probably a combination of, staff resources to drive those projects and get them through the, design phase and also, funding. But I think this one was probably the most complicated and the one with the most traffic. So I think that's the good news.
Right, sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Daniel. On to the next.
Okay, the next slide. So this is Barnes Park. This is Barnes Park. It's starting to look like a park again. Next slide. It's a different angle on the right, and then this other
Is
playground.
Bravo, what is it right now?
Right now, it looks like a mixture of sand and gravel ag base.
Yeah, it's a base of rubberized flooring will be installed at a later date before the opening.
What is that on the left, the
Looks
Christmas
like
tree looking thing?
It is a playground apparatus-ish. I would love to say it's a Christmas tree because we always love the December to remember, but it's a playground apparatus. Yes, it is. It's something different.
Are the kids gonna go inside there or?
I think it's a combination. Well, you have to be pretty small to go through the small square. So I think it's primarily climbing on the exterior of the apparatus.
That's concerning to me because you do have little ones that may be at the park and then all of a sudden they're gonna get in there. And the parents are gonna be stuck. How do I get this child out of here?
Yeah, keep in mind, there's age-specific playgrounds. I believe 3 to 5 and 6 to 12. If I'm not mistaken, it will be noted at that young age. Usually, the parents are with the little ones, and there'll be rubberized flooring. And this is from a reputable playground company, and I think things should go smoothly.
Do you know about how tall that is? How tall that structure is?
No, I don't know specifically. If we had to guess, I would probably say about 12 feet at the.
Yeah, I
point.
was thinking maybe like 10, but yeah.
Okay.
Is,
And also we'll have a certified licensed landscape architect kind of sign off on every component of the playground equipment to make sure it's safe and it meets, safety requirements.
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason why the pumpkin wagon at Morgan Park, if you remember that one from many decades ago, that one was considered unsafe because a youngster could stick their head in the wheels and they could possibly choke. So this is safe via all the best practices and guidelines of playground manufacturer equipment.
Hey,
Okay, I work with 3 and 4-year-olds and they're quick and they're sneaky, and before you know it, they're in something that they shouldn't be in. And I think it's a great idea, climbing structure and all that, but my concern is the ropes, they're gonna get in there, they're gonna get stuck.
Are they
Honestly,
jiggly ropes? Are they like,
tight?
They are very stern ropes, more like metal ropes. I've seen them at different facilities, and they even have large playground structures with this type of structure. But the community selected this piece of apparatus.
Well,
And-
let's just keep an eye on it once you do open it up. And make sure the signs are posted nearby of the age group, because again, 3 and 4-year-olds are quick and they get into.
Absolutely.
which is fun for that age, right?
Yeah, we will definitely
Yeah, but
keep
we
it
gotta-
both sides.
My
And
concern with that, Manny, is the rubberized flooring that you're talking about.
yes,
Does it have padding? Because my big,
yes.
I have a bigger concern than a kid trying to stick their body through there because it's small, but once one of the kids tries to climb up all the way to the top, if they end up falling back.
Yes,
fall to the floor.
it does have padding. I will have to, I'll double check with the manufacturer. I don't think the intent is for the youngster to climb all the way up to the top, but we will definitely check. But there's a standard playground apparatus that the kids have been playing on that will play on in Baldwin Park, and this is installed throughout Southern California, if not the nation.
We'll have Manny test it when the grand opening is there.
And
Yeah.
the padding does eventually with time, because it gets old, it does turn hard, like anything, it gets weathered. So the
Yes.
padding does turn hard eventually, and it has to be changed out because it becomes almost like concrete with time.
Yes,
Right away.
absolutely. That's one of the drawbacks of rubberized flooring, that after 3 to 10 years, it does get hard or it shows cracks, but it is much better than sand, because when you're a parent and you take your little ones shoes off when they're sitting on the bed, sand goes everywhere. And I say that from experience. Yes. Yes, we do have swings. And this is another project that I would like to compliment Public Works. Very low staff when Daniel first came on board. I believe he had one other engineer, and he's been able to build his team. I think as of right now, he is short one. I know he would like to have more staff, but he is short one staff. So hopefully that new person will be on board within the next month or so.
Yeah, and on this project, we do have a consultant firm, CWE, that's providing inspection and construction management services. So they're a huge help. But yes, this project was well underway, and it's going, it's coming along, and I think we can see the finish line. Still a little bit of ways away, but we can see it now. So next slide, please. This shows again a side of that same playground, and then on the bottom right, that's looking to the south. That's right there on Patriti Avenue. So that will be parking just off of the street. So you'll pull off the street and be able to park there along the frontage. Next slide. So our contractor, Suzer, began work in May of 2024. This project was advertised and bid prior to have obtained permits from Caltrans to install the sound walls. I will say that I think at one point the walls were on city property and then modified to be on Caltrans in Caltrans right away due to that's what Caltrans wanted to a potential right away expansion. So there's been a few delays with the futsal court redesign due to a couple slivers of land on the north side of the park that were privately owned. I don't think the city was aware of that early on. And then there's also to install a 42-inch storm drain pipe in Patriti, a San Gabriel Valley Water Company water main was in the way. That delayed the work a little bit for that segment on the north side there. And then we brought to the council a preliminary easement, if you will, that we would have to dedicate to the water company because that the city doesn't have, there isn't a public right of way in Patriti on the west half of the road. That's city property. So we'll need to dedicate an easement so that the water company can have their water line on the city's property in an easement. Next slide. So the council awarded this $17 million contract in February of 2024 after a bid protest hearing. And per the contract and the notice to proceed, we provide the contractor had 370 working days to complete the project. A big part of the project was storm drain infiltration gallery that intercepted a lot of the storm runoff below grade, and that was constructed 30 feet below the grade. The irrigation main line is mostly complete. The grading is pretty much complete. A lot of the concrete has been constructed and a lot of the playground equipment is installed. Also, storm drain pipeline has been installed as well. Next slide. So some of the remaining scope is the storm drain facilities on the north side that now can be constructed now that the water line has been relocated out of the way. There's still playground equipment to install, fencing, the dog park improvements, plantings, sod, other amenities such as benches and picnic tables, the water fountains partially installed, sculptures, decorations. Also, we have asphalt pavement to construct and the futsal court as well as the perimeter walls and sound walls. Next slide. So now we open it up to questions on this project.
I've got a couple. Daniel, in reference to this project, are the letters that you provided for us part of this? Separate? Okay.
Yeah, and there's going to be a closed session item on this project as well, and I think the letters are more for that.
Do we know more or less what the estimated at this point in time? I know that there's no dates associated with that. Do we know more or less the completion time for this project?
So per the original contract, the completion time was
October,
November.
November.
Yeah, November of this year, but given the delays that were caused by the city, the final completion date, has not been determined.
Got it. So it's not determined. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Any other questions? No? Thank you, Daniel. I know you came on board and there was a lot of projects on the line already with some errors that needed to be corrected and they took extra time on your part. But I'm glad you were able to jump in there and figure out how to make these corrections. So that's greatly appreciated. And the projects are moving forward. That definitely on board, making sure that we're aligning with what should be done and the way the corrections need to be done. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the work you're putting in that these projects continue. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if I can add to that, Mayor, Daniel, I just want to thank you for your attention to detail. Because I've seen how proactive you are with a lot of these projects. I know that you inherited them But just know that we appreciate the fact that you do pay attention to detail, and you do hold these contractors accountable for the contract. So thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Seeing that we have nothing else, we will now adjourn to closed session. Yes.